So I will ask you a question first of all. So what is the configuration file for your database?
TNS, listener, SQLNet, pfile,
P-file.
SV
These
file.
are all the configuration files for your database, right? Yes, correct.
Yeah.
If you want to modify any configuration file, what you will do?
Depends. If you are modifying database parameter, if it's static, change in pfile, recreate SV file start. If it's dynamic, you can on fly you can modify. And for listener, if you do any, you need to reload.
Okay.
And I think for
So
SQL and
I'm just asking how do you modify the file? You will modify couple of files in order to get the changes reflected, right?
yeah,
So coming to your applications, okay, coming to your applications, you won't see couple of configuration files for your application. So there are mainly three servers in your applications like Apache server, Form server, and Concurrent Manager server, right? So these servers doesn't depend on couple of configuration files to start. They depends on hundreds of configuration files. So you see in Oracle application there will be hundreds of configuration files, not hundreds, like it will be in tens to 50s to 60 configuration files. So moreover, if you don't see one configuration parameter in not only a single file, so you will be seeing one configuration parameter in couple of configuration files. Okay, I mean you will be seeing a single configuration parameter in multiple files. Okay, so it means the same context parameter will be having the same value in multiple files. Now, what do I need to do in order to change a parameter in any configuration file? You have to modify all the configuration files, right?
yeah,
Yes, we have to modify all the configuration files. So if you forget to modify in one configuration file, there will be some kind of conflicts and your applications may not work properly. Okay. So to overcome all these things, so there is a utility called as autoconfig. Okay. So autoconfig is a configuration tool which eliminates the need to manually maintain configuration files and profile options in Oracle applications. So you don't need to modify any configuration file from the time when autoconfig has come. Okay, because your autoconfig is going to manage all the configuration files. It is going to update all the configuration files. Okay, so when you run autoconfig in application type, so it will use the information from the application context file. It means it will take the input from application context file to generate all configuration files and update database profiles. So when you run autoconfig and database, it uses the information from the data from the database control context file. Okay. So what is the thing over here? Whenever you are running autoconfig in application type, it is taking the values from application context file, and when you run autoconfig in the database type, it is taking the data from database context file. So what is this context file? So
it
context file
contain
contains, yeah, the context file
yeah,
contains the information required to configure your Oracle applications. Basically, so your context file contains the SID name, it contains the host name, it contains the server names, it contains in which server, in which location, and what is the port number, what are the port numbers of each and every server. That kind of things will be available in your context file. So your context file is a single file which contains nearly about 1,000 lines. Okay, so it contains nearly about 1,000 lines. I mean, it contains almost 1,000 parameters. These 1,000 configuration parameters are scattered among multiple configuration files in multiple locations. So whenever we just want to modify any value in the configuration file, we should not modify the configuration file directly. We should modify the context file. We should modify the context file, and then we have to run autoconfig. So your autoconfig will take the input values from the context file and it will override in all the configuration files. Okay. So how it will do? That is what autoconfig is. Okay. We will learn in that. AutoConfig support your Appletop and Oracle homes. So it will configure your Appletop and Oracle homes, and it's supporting technology stack. So it is the centralization, configuration and reconfiguration of an application instance. It means in order to configure the entire files in your applications, you will be maintaining the AutoConfig. The components of AutoConfig. So what are the components of AutoConfig? So just listen carefully. So just try to understand, this is a 16-page document. So it is not a small concept. It is a very, very big concept. Just concentrate. Okay. Application context. So it is an XML repository, contains information specific to the application instance. Applications instance. It can be updated by running context editor. I will show you how to update the context file. Okay. So basically your context file is nothing but it is the central repository for all your configuration information. Okay. It contains the configuration parameter. It contains the configuration value. That is what I mean. Okay. It is a centralized repository for your Oracle applications. So the location of your context file is inst top apple admin. The name of the context file will be context underscore name dot xml. For example, context name is nothing but sid underscore hostname dot xml. Okay. So the database context. So the database context is nothing but it is a centralized repository for your database related information. So in your database, it will be residing under Oracle home slash appsutil. Okay. Next, AutoConfig template file. So template file is the one. Okay. So template file is the one which contains which contains the information about the configuration. What are the parameters it should override in the configuration file? Let us take an example of Apache configuration file. What is our Apache configuration file? It is httpd.b. httpd.conf file is the configuration file for your Apache. Okay. So how your AutoConfig will come to know? It should write these parameters in the file. I will take you to the back. So this is the configuration file location for your Apache server. So I am opening. What is this? This is the configuration file. What it is containing? Server. This is the parameter name. This is the value. Okay. It is containing configuration parameter value. This is the configuration. This is the configuration parameter value. So what my question is, your AutoConfig is trying to regenerate. Your AutoConfig is trying to regenerate the configuration files, right? So how come your AutoConfig is coming to know that these are the parameters which it should add in the configuration file? So as I said, there will be 1,000 lines in your context file, right? So why AutoConfig is taking only these values and keeping over here? Because the information about it means the the base for your context file is nothing but your template file. Okay, the base for your context file is template file. So how AutoConfig will come to know about the template file? So it will check into the driver file. Okay, so this is not the scenario. I'll tell you again. Okay, so how AutoConfig will come to know about the driver template file? So the information about the template files will be residing in the driver file. So for each and every product tab, under each and every product tab, you will be seeing a driver. Okay, driver directory. Under driver directory, you'll be seeing driver files. So the driver files contains the information about the template file. So the template file contains the actual raw parameters of your context configuration files. Okay. So I will take you over here and I'll explain. So there should be one diagram. Before. Yeah, see here. So first, what this is your auto config engine. Engine is nothing but like your utility. Okay. So this is the output file. So what is the output file for your auto config? The configuration file will be the output file for your auto config. Okay. So first, what autoconfig is doing? So autoconfig is taking input from three files: driver file, template file, and XML file. Okay. So autoconfig is regenerating the configuration file. Okay. So these are the autoconfig scripts. So if you want to run this script, so all the four scripts will run autoconfig. Okay. So this script is located at instead of admin scripts. You can run this script from this location. If you want to run autoconfig from ad.bin, you have to execute these two scripts. Okay, adconfig.sh or adconfig.perl. And one thing is, whenever you are running autoconfig from instead of admin scripts, it will only ask you for apps password. If you run autoconfig from these two locations, it will ask you for apps password as well as the location of XML file. Okay, so anyhow, that is not our concept as of now. So first, what autoconfig will do? So your autoconfig will take input from three files and replace in the configuration file. So first, your autoconfig will go to driver file. Okay. So what autoconfig will do? First, it will go to each and every product driver file. So if you're having 200 products in your Oracle application, your autoconfig has to go for 200 products driver directory. Okay. So under driver directory, driver files resides. So driver files are the files which contains the information about the template files, which contains information about the template files. So here you have to make a note of one thing. So one driver file contains information about multiple on template files. Okay, one driver file contains information about multiple template files. So the template files are the ones which are the raw configuration files. It means the template files contains the configuration parameters without values. They act as a skeleton for your configuration files. So this is what, this is a configuration file. So what configuration file is containing? It is containing what it is containing. It is containing configuration parameter as well as configuration value. If you go to the template file, edit top admin driver. Okay. So your edit of admin driver is a place where it contains the driver files information. See how many driver files are there? These are all the driver files. Open any driver file. So what is the file? Main file driver for Oracle applications DBA. Read by auto install programs. So this is, so when we open this file, we got information about the template file. So this is the template file. So when I open the template file, it is containing only the parameters. This is only containing the parameters, but not values. So values where we can get in the configuration files. What is a configuration file? Configuration file may be anything. It may be an environmental file, it may be a text file, it may be a SQL file, whatever it is. It may be a shell script, it may be a conf file, .conf file, whatever it is. Okay. So a configuration file is the one which contains configuration parameter as well as configuration values. So if you consider, if you check only this template file, so the files which are in template directory are called as template files, and the files which are in inst top and under apple top are called as configuration files. Okay, some configuration files will be residing in inst top, some configuration files will be residing in apple top. See, if I'll take you to apple underscore top admin VAAD. This is also a configuration file. Okay, this is also a configuration file. So what it is seeing, updated by autopatch on Monday, July 27. Okay, so we have updated today, right? This particular value in order to show you how ID all defaults file. That's one.
Yeah, yeah.
This is also a configuration file for your AD patch. Okay, so auto config is not yet completed. Just a minute. So what it is doing? So it is going to the driver file. The driver file contains information about the template file. So after going to the template file, so it is taking the values from the template file. It means it is taking the inputs from template file, like so and so configuration file should contain so and so parameters. So how come your auto config will come to know these are the parameters for the that have to be placed in listener.ora? Listener.ora is a configuration file, right? So how come your auto config will come to know that these are the parameters which should reside in listener.ora? So that information,
So
that
we
all
need to
information
configure.
will come, yeah, will be available in template file. The template file contains the information about the configuration parameters. Okay, but the drawback is it doesn't contain the values of the configuration parameters. To fetch the value, your auto config will go to context name. Okay, your auto config will go to context name and then it will override in the configuration file. So I will ask you one question. For one template file, how many configuration files will be there?
There can be multiple.
Can you tell me how?
So, uh, so when we say when we say template file, we can have multiple configuration files in there, wherein it
Your
can use
template
that.
file contains multiple configuration parameters. Your template file itself is a file, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your template file contains only the parameter name. Okay. Let us take an example of context file. Your template file contains s underscore login underscore page. Okay. So but it doesn't contain the value. So for s underscore login underscore page, it will go to the this context file and it will take the value and it will override a configuration file. One second, guys. So I'm just explaining the procedure once again. Just listen carefully. First, your auto config will go to driver file. Okay, your driver file contains information about the template file. Okay, so it means like one driver file contains information about multiple template files. Okay, so what will be residing in the template file? So in your template file, the information about the configuration file parameters will be residing. Okay, so template file contains the skeleton. It acts like a skeleton for your configuration file. Your template file acts as a skeleton for your configuration file. What is skeleton? Skeleton is nothing but something without a body. Okay, something without body. It only structure. It contains only the structure. Okay, so I mean your template file contains only the structure of the variable. It doesn't contain value of the variable. Okay, structure of the variable is nothing but, let us take an example of login page. Yes underscore login page. It is nothing but the structure of the variable equals to https colon oracle apps.oracle.com. That is nothing but the value for your variable. Okay, so your template file contains only the structure of the variable. Okay, so it will pick the structure of the variable from template file, and for that particular template file, for that particular variable, it will pick value from the context name.xml. Okay, and it will override in the configuration file. So for one template file there will be only one configuration file. Okay, even though your driver file is having information about multiple template files, for one template file there will be only one configuration file. So that is the reason why if you want to change any configuration values, means if you want to change any value in the configuration file, so you have to modify XML file. So what happens, your autoconfig, while selecting the value from the XML file, it will select the modified value and it will write in the configuration file. So that is how your autoconfig works. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So
I'm
we
fine.
never should change the init parameters, configuration file. Always you should use autoconfig.
Yes, yes,
Is that correct, Santosh?
yes, yes. So you
So
should
this
never
is the
change,
process it will follow.
you should never change the configuration file directly, but there are some cases where we change configuration file directly. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
even though I will tell you that comes in the concept.
Okay. So when we change the configuration file directly, Santosh, will this driver file template file get automatically updated, or do we need to do some changes to that?
See, we are never touching a driver file. We are never touching a template file. We are only touching what? Context file. Okay. We are only touching context file. Okay. So we are not even touching configuration files also at this time. See, I'll just tell you one thing. I'll take you to the configuration file. So what is this? What is the port number? This is the port number of Apache, right? Are you getting the point or not? The port number of Apache. This is residing in the configuration file. So all your
Correct.
configuration files will be residing in Aura config home, inst top Aura. Okay. All your configuration files will be residing in inst top Aura. So under 10.13 Apache conf, there is one important configuration file called as httpd.conf. So if you open this httpd.conf file, what happens? So you are seeing one port number called as Apache port number, right? So this is just an example I'm telling. Okay, if you change here, and if you reboot Apache server, what happens? Your Apache server port number will get changed to 8010. Is it correct or not? Come on, like remove your mute.
I mean to say if you change any port, now it is 8010.
Yes, I will change the value over
Okay.
here. I'll rebounce the server. What happens?
Of Apache server you are restarting.
Yeah.
So yeah, it will be, the new values will be reflected.
Yes. Why the new values are getting reflected? Because your Apache server is taking the values from which file? From the configuration
httpd.conf.
file. Is it correct or not?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. But do you think, okay, do you think this particular port number and this particular port number 8010 is there, right? So your Apache
Mm-hmm.
server is going to take 8010 only from this file or from any other files?
So Apache will take it from here only. Santosh.
Basically that is what the mistake, that is what the problem is. So your Apache server is not going to take value only from this server. It will also take values from the other servers also. Sorry, other files also. Are you getting? So
But
at this
first
point,
it will come to this, right?
I will change the value here to 820, 8020. In other file, the value will be 8010. So what Apache server will think? It should start on 8010 or 8020. There will be some conflicts, right? Obviously, there will be some conflicts. So your Apache server will fail to start. To overcome these kind of activities, these kind of mishandling kind of activities. So what autoconfig have done is, so there is a centralized repository for your Oracle. There is a centralized repository for all your configuration parameters in your Oracle application. So this is nothing but the centralized. This is nothing but the centralized repository. So s underscore context underscore name. What is this? This is a configuration parameter. What is this? This is the value. So what is the context name in our environment? What we are using? Prod underscore apps. Is it correct or not?
Yeah,
Yes.
correct.
S underscore active underscore web port. So the default value base is nothing but the default value. Okay. Base is nothing but the default value. And what is this? 8010 is the value what we changed. Okay. So if you want to change,
Basis the value from where it starts, the port number starts.
base is nothing but the default. Yes, that is where the port number starts.
Yeah.
Okay. So and what is the value? 8010. So if you modify the value here to 8020, this is just an example. If you modify the value over here to 8020 and if you run autoconfig, what autoconfig will do? It will replace wherever it finds wherever it finds this particular value. Okay. To what? To 8020. Okay. Are you getting the value or not? So to do this, what autoconfig is doing? First, your autoconfig is going to driver file, which contains information about the template file. So the template file contains, so for one driver file, there are n number of template files. Okay. So it means one file contains information about the multiple template files. So what is your template file containing? Your template file containing only the structure of the variable. Let us assume this is the structure of the variable. S underscore active underscore web port is the structure of the variable. So it only contains the structure of the variable. What is the value we decided for that? 8010. Okay. So it takes the structure of the variable from template file. Okay. And it takes the value. What is the value? 8010, right? Takes the value from the context file and it will override in what? In the configuration file. That is nothing but httpd.conf. Are you getting the point or not?
Yeah, getting it.
Yes. That is how your autoconfig will work. So if you modify the value over here, if you modify the value from 8010 to 8020, what happens? So your autoconfig will modify this 8010 to 8020 in all the configuration files. So you don't need to bother like how many files it is going to modify, but it is going to modify all the files which contains the value 8010. Okay,
Do
which
we need to
contains the value
manually,
s underscore active underscore web port, the structure.
sometimes do we need to manually invoke this autoconfig file, or it is a scheduled, or a continuous
It is
job?
not scheduled. It is not scheduled. We have to run it autoconfig whenever there are any configuration level changes. Okay.
Okay,
Whenever there are any configuration level changes, we will have to modify this.
we have to run that file.
Yes. I will start applications. So if you want to modify anything, okay, it depends on the environment what you are going to do and what are the necessary changes you are going to make. So, but you have to modify it in the autoconfig file, context file. So what is s underscore cp underscore sleep? That is nothing but 30. If you change here s underscore cp underscore, concurrent manager is not completed for you, right? Okay.
No.
Yeah, s underscore sleep is nothing but sleep cycle. It means, so for every sleep cycle, your concurrent managers will look into database for new requests. So that is defined as 30 seconds. If you want to change it to 10 seconds, you can change it and run autoconfig so that the necessary configuration files will be overridden with the new value. Okay. So your autoconfig is very dangerous because so you don't know, like it is going to change all the configuration files. Okay, so just listen carefully. So your autoconfig is going to overwrite each and every file in your inst top. Okay, so are you getting? It is going to
Yes,
overwrite each and every file in the inst top. Inst top is nothing but it is a top which contains all the configuration files, right? So whenever you are running autoconfig, it will override all the configuration files. It will create new configuration files. So simply if you give rm-rf inst top, you don't need to worry, because once if you run autoconfig, what happens? All the configuration files will be recreated.
This Santosh, this inst top won't contain database configuration file, correct? No, it's only
Database
application.
configuration file resides in your database RDBMS Oracle home. Okay.
Yeah, means in inst top it won't be there, no?
No, it won't contain. It won't contain about the database configuration.
Okay, so there will be only two context file. One is from the application layer, other one from the database layer.
Yes, exactly. So what is this? What is the context name.xml file? This is a context file, right? So this is an XML file. So if you modify an XML file directly, what happens? There are chances where your XML file will get corrupted. Okay. So XML file should not be modified directly, but still people will modify. To be frank, like people will be modifying this XML value using VA editor only. But there is a utility to modify the context file. Okay, that is nothing but context editor, or else you can also config autoconfig utility. Let me show you first. Let me show you how to modify context file using context editor. So these are the autoconfig scripts. Okay, so ad autoconfig.sh. Okay, so this is located. This is residing at admin scripts home. Okay, on database tier Oracle Home Apps Retail scripts, and on application tier admin scripts home. So your ad autoconfig.sh will internally call ad config.sh. So your ad config.sh will internally call ad config.perl. To be clear, you can see this. So your ad autoconfig.sh will internally call ad config.sh. Your ad config.sh will internally call ad config.perl. Your ad config.perl will internally call ad java. Okay. So if you want to, so whatever the script you run in these three things, so it is going to call ad java and it is going to run. So at last, so if you run adconfig.sh, so if you want to run autoconfig from inst top admin scripts, you can run this script. So when you run this script, it will prompt only for apps password. But if you run these two scripts, it will prompt you for apps password as well as the location of the context. Okay, go to System Administrator tab, responsibility. Under System Administrator responsibility, click on under Oracle Application Manager, click on anything. You can click on License Manager. You have to click on Dashboard. Click on Dashboard, but most of the things will contain this. So under Dashboard, go for Sitemap. Under Sitemap, go for Auto Config. Okay. So this is nothing but the application context file, and this is nothing but the database context file. So if you want to edit parameters for application, click on this. Okay. So you have to give all over here and then search for any parameter. So what is the parameter? Active web port. If you give any parameter name over here, so it displays all the parameters which contains the name which is specified over here. Okay. So s underscore oa core underscore nprox. So what is the value for this one? You can grab the same from context file. So what is s underscore oa underscore oa core underscore nprox value? Only one. So what is this actually? So the total number of JVMs, okay? The total number of JVMs defined for OA core. So how many OA cores are running over here? Only one OA core, only one forms, only one OAFM JVM, and for HTTP server one OAFM, right? So if I want to change the value of OA core to 2, it means so the total number of end users have been increased, and I would like to increase the value for OA core, okay? So from 1 JVM to 2 JVMs. So what do I have to do? Come on, I have to modify the value. I'm modifying the value using context editor. Save. Save the value, right? Now grep underscore way core from dollar text underscore file. It will be the exact parameter.
Santosh, after changing, is anything need to be, anything need to be done from our end?
Nothing.
Say,
You have to
from
run
the
auto config. Or we have changed the value to 2, right? I'm just checking whether the value got changed in context file or not.
No, that is still, one only, Santosh.
Where have you seen 1?
If you see that, 1 second, hold on. You see this OA core end process. Oh, yeah.
Where?
I don't think you saved it.
I saved it actually.
Okay.
Where is that you have seen?
Uh, you need to go little up, move up. Yeah, here. See. Fifth or sixth line.
This
Hold
one?
on. Yeah. Number of process.
Yes, we will see it. Original value is 1, new value is 2.
Uh, so we have oapm.xml as well since the configuration file oapm.xml.
Why it is not changing? Contextual, it have to change actually. Not changed.
Uh,
Yeah. Now the value has been changed to 2. Is it clear?
uh,
So now if you
uh,
run autoconfig, what happens? There will be
it
two
will make,
OA core processes which are running for, there will be two JVMs which will be running for OA core. Okay. So AD, OPM and CTL status. So how many OA core JVMs are there? Only one OA core JVM, right? So if you run autoconfig now, what happens? So it will pick two OA cores. It means it will run two OA core JVMs because in contextual we have specified the same. So to run autoconfig, what do we have to do? Application needs to be down. So using context editor,
Earlier,
go to system.
earlier where you went wrong, where no only a new value was not reflecting.
Same
I
context
think it
editor
is
only.
not saved, Prakash.
It was not saved actually.
Earlier when
Okay,
yeah,
from
that was
this
not saved.
console, means,
From this
from
context
the
editor only,
concurrent manager.
Uh,
not concurrent manner, context
Okay.
editor.
Yeah, content.
Under system administrator dashboard, click on sitemap. So here select all. So and click on the edit parameters. Sorry, not here. Click on edit parameters. So here select all and type the name of the parameter what you want to change. After changing name of the parameter, you just we are changing the value over here and then clicking on save. Okay. After clicking on save, what happened? The value have been changed and it is asking to run autoconfig to get the values reflected in the configuration files. So as of now, we are not touching any configuration file. Okay. Different phases of autoconfig. So there are different phases which autoconfig will run. Okay. So inste phase, inste 8, inste 8 underscore setup, inste 8 underscore prf, inste 8 underscore apply. So these are all the phases which autoconfig will run. So each and every phase has its own significance. Moreover, we will not be using all this in real time. So there are options like to run autoconfig only in this mode, to run autoconfig only in this mode, either of these four modes. But never we should go with individual options. We have to proceed with all the options. So as we run patch in test mode, so here we can run autoconfig also in test mode. Okay. So in order to run autoconfig in check mode, there are some things. Okay, I'll show you how to run autoconfig in check mode. The same location in AD top bin. Okay, under AD top bin, there is a utility called ad checkconfig.sh. ad checkconfig.sh. With the help of this script, we can run autoconfig in check mode. What happens if you run autoconfig in check mode? We can see the impact of autoconfig. Okay, we can see the impact of autoconfig. It means like what are the configuration files it is going to change. So how to know? It will generate one log file. It will generate one HTML file. With the help of this HTML file, we can come to know what are the configuration files where which autoconfig is going to modify. Let's wait for all the processes to come down. If you just execute ad stopall.sh, and if you leave it as it is, it's not like the thing, your applications are completely shut down completely. We have to check for the background processes. If the background processes are nothing, then you can confirm applications are down. See here, there are some concurrent manager related background processes are running. Never kill FNDSM. Okay. So now I have to run autoconfig in check mode, right? So what I have to do? First I have to run autoconfig in check mode. So go to ad underscore top slash then ad chkcfg dot sh. Okay. Space apps by apps password. It is asking full path of context. So you can use apps password.
Do we need to give file name as well?
Yes. Do we? It is asking for the context file. So I'm giving. It is asking for apps password. I have given. So what it is doing? Autoconfig is running in text mode and building references. So it will show you what are the things which are going to change with the particular autoconfig section.
Okay.
It will take some time, 2 minutes. So after running autoconfig in check mode, the autoconfig in check mode has been completed. So what it have done is it generated a report in HTML. So under this location, so go to this location. Okay, LSF and LTR. So this is the one. Okay, so the report name will be 0727 month, date, time. Okay, 3:30 right now when we run that utility. Okay, so under this utility you will be seeing some couple of HTML and multiple files actually. So these are all the output files. So what you have to do is you just copy this directory to the Windows desktop. Okay, so using WinSCP you have to copy. As I'm using VMware, I'm doing like this. This is the file, right? If you see the HTML file, this is. There will be one consolidated file name. Yeah, CFG check. CFG check conf. This is the check config report. So this is giving a node name, context file name, server group status, and all these things. You can see changed configuration files. See, these are all the configuration files which got changed when we change the value from 2 to 1. Okay, we have, sorry, 1 to 2. We change the value from 1 to 2, right? So in order to see how many configuration files it is going to change, you can come here and you can see. Okay, this is what it is going to change. So if you want to see the difference, click. So you can see here lines present in one version and lines are not present in the other. So we have added one new configuration, right? So that is why it is showing you some information related to configuration. You can come down still. So if you want to see the change in lines, it is changing from old version to new version. These lines are changing from old file to new file. Basically, like if whenever we are running autoconfig, we will have an idea. Okay, so why we are running it. So we will go to the configuration file and we will check whether the change has been reflected or not. Okay, so but here, for example, I am showing you. These are all the things which are going to change. Okay, when you compare to this file. Is it clear? So I'll show you some more things. So new configuration files. So if it is going to create any new configuration files, so you can see it over here. These are the new configuration files. 1013, 1013, 1013 top, 1013 OA code, 1013 OA from 1013. So this is the template file name. Okay. So this is the location of the template and runtime file name. This is the new file. Okay. So we are changing one JVM, right? So we are adding one JVM. So one JVM requires these three things to run to get generated, and these are the associated template files for this JVM. The third vehicle. Okay, so these are the changes what we will get when we run autoconfig. Okay, so in order to see the statistics, you can come here. You can run AD check config utility, but 50% of the employees will prefer to run it and 50% will not. Okay. If I could say clearly, it is 80 and 20%. Like this is only for safe side and production. Like we have to run this utility for checking purpose. Like that. See, to view the differences, there are the things, there are like the links where you can see the differences. These are the template files which got added or which got changed, and whenever if there are new configuration files, see, for one configuration there will be one associated template file, right? So when it is when it is generating three new configuration files, so there should be associated template files also. For these configurations, these will be the template files. So if you see this file, what is this? This is a template file, right?
Yeah.
and see this. Obviously, it is not showing the version. Sorry, it is not showing the XML file. So after generating, I'll show you the difference between this file and this file. Okay. So now I
But
have to run
Santosh,
autoconfig.
this template file is also having the values, right?
Template file is also
Having the values in it, right?
template file doesn't contain the values. It only contains the structure of the variable.
If you see name and value, you see that.
Where
See, I'll add all rows true.
this is
You know.
required is nothing but this is the required information from the context file,
Mm-hmm.
like that. Where are you seeing the values? I cannot see.
I just saw that only one parameter.
Where is it?
No. See, if you see that.
See, this is the thing. Okay, s underscore system name. What is this?
Mhm.
This is the context parameter. You have to see only context related parameters. See, you should not compare any other values over here. You should only check for the context related information.
Mm-hmm.
This
Okay.
percentile is, this is what, this is nothing but the context variable. So this is context variable. So in your configuration file the value will be reflected. What value will get reflected? You can grab from context file. The system name is prod, right? So here
Mm-hmm.
in your template file what it is showing, s underscore system name. Okay, I will generate, I will run autoconfig in real mode now. I will run autoconfig in real mode. Ad autoconfig.sh. If you want to submit apps password through command line only, apps pass equals to apps. There are autoconfig customization also, which is again like uh, which takes 1 more hour. So as of now it is running autoconfig. It will take 15 to 20 minutes to run
Mm-hmm.
on approximately 10 minutes. So autoconfig completed successfully. Okay. So now we will see what are the changes which autoconfig made. So we're starting applications. So once the applications have come up, we will see how many JVMs have been started. So previously the total number of JVMs for OA core are 1. So I have changed the value of OA core from number of OA cores from 1 to 2. So we will see how many OA cores are running now after the applications got started. Applications have started, AD, OPM and CTL. See how many OA cores are you seeing over here? You are seeing 2 OA cores, right? Is it clear? So how the two OA cores have been come? Because we have specified the total number of JVM values from context file to 2 and we have run autoconfig. So it had made necessary changes in the necessary configuration files. So now when we are starting applications, the applications have looked into the configuration files for the total number of JVMs which are defined for OA core. It has checked the updated values to 2 and it has started the applications. It has started the 2 OA cores for the for 2 JVMs for OA core. Is it clear?